Now, I normally don't just do live streams for no reason at all, just like that. I'm not doing this for no reason at all. It's perhaps because I've got so emotionally involved in what I'm seeing at present that I really wanted to actually show this. I am at a refugee reception area in Brno in Czechia, and this is the area of the trade fair grounds. So the trade fair in Brno, which has a very long history to it, it's now part of the Düsseldorf Trade Fair group, and I mean, I'm in one of the halls, as you can see right now. And if I were to turn the camera around, you can see what it is. This is a trade fair. So you've got normally when they have sort of products here, which new products, you know, I go to Düsseldorf for the trade fair there. Well, that's held in halls of this nature, and you can sort of see what it's like. But now what's happened is, because of Putin's invasion of Czechia, we have this situation that people who just over a week ago had a normal house to go to, had somewhere to live, and had all their things around them, are now in a situation where they're living in a place, not living so much because this is just a reception area, this is more of the emergency type, but they can be sleeping in here, places like this. You can see around me, I don't really want to point it at people who are actually there. You can see people here are making beds for others, and this I think is really it's a really horrendous situation here. I'll turn things back around on me, just in case you want to see me. So I've got to say that the authorities here, though, have done a fantastic job, because it's super clean. And what's happening, so people are either finding their way here, they get here, and maybe by car or however, and then they report here, and from here they're sent to other places. Now at the moment what they're doing is they're sending them to student dormitories, and but there are those that, for example, just turn up here and because they have nowhere else to go. Now on the other side there's a wall here behind me, and on the other side of that is where the people, they've got food, hygienic products, they've got there's medical care, there's and also the police are there, and they're doing the registrations. And thanks, Jason. I'm trying to do my best to support Ukraine. I see you are as well. And so this is what the situation is like here. Now at the Polish border, they have now crossed, I think it's now over 500,000 people, and I don't know how many here are, and I think it's about 1,200 a day here are being processed. Now, when I was on the other side, there seemed to be quite a number of men, which I wasn't really expecting, because men can only leave Ukraine between the ages of 18, I think it is, and 60, if they've got 3 or more children. Otherwise, they're not allowed to leave. Though there was one gentleman I was talking to outside, and in his case, he was here because of he was allowed to. Sorry, he was here because he'd been working here, so he was allowed to say. It is indeed absolutely amazing how quickly this has sprung into action. Now, when so you can see behind me, setting up the beds down there, and that's just happened in the time I've been sitting here. Now, we came here. There's 2 of us as volunteers, and to do something quite small, and so I'm really super impressed at the organisation or the Czechs actually have put into it, and also the I think the trade fair as well. So I mean, I'm going to write to the trade fair tomorrow, the headquarters in Dusseldorf, to say how impressed I am by it. But I mean, it's just the fate of these people. Just to imagine it, how how they were living, then suddenly this is all ripped away from them because of a few ultra rich, extremely greedy people who have done this. And a war which actually nobody knows. Okay, it's a war of total aggression. I think today Putin said what he wanted to conquer Ukraine. He told Macron, and if he's not allowed to do that, then things will just get worse and worse. Now, I would apologise for doing this on my motorhome channel. 2 days ago, I wrote on the the premiere. So I'm not going to write anything else which is negative on this, do anything bad. And if there's anything positive, it's how people are reacting here in Czechia. Mark's just made a good point. He said they've got all these offices which are empty because so many people are at home. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of lost for words really about the whole situation. It's just also being so close to it as well, and being in Poland, that I feel I had to get involved in whatever way was possible. Looking around people here, one thing I've noticed is how red their eyes are, and I don't know if this is related to crying or shock or maybe or whatever, but it seemed it sort of really brought it home to me what is really happening. Now, the few people that I've spoken to here have almost entirely been from Western Ukraine. So you look at Ternopil in Ukrainian, in Polish word, Lviv, and this area. I haven't spoken to anybody here from further east. Having said that, I am regularly in correspondence with a friend of mine who lives in a place called Pavlovgrad, which is near Dnipro, and okay, so she says, what she says is there's a food shortage, so she's gone and living with her parents, old elderly parents, and to sort of help them out. I'm also I'm on the management board of a company which is based in Kharkiv, and so the two people from they're physically okay. I have no idea what's happened to the production facility, of course, but I mean they are okay. But I've written to friends in Odessa. I have no response, and these are people who always wrote back to me really quickly. So I've no idea. I mean, I've tried. I have no idea. I've tried what I could do. So Andrew says it's heartbreaking and wish you could help more. And this is the problem: is what you can actually do. On my history channel yesterday, I put up something about the Foreign Legion, which President Zelensky announced last Sunday. The thing is this. I was in the army, and I said if somebody's not a trained soldier, then they don't want to be volunteering to do it, because there isn't time to train them. What I would suggest, if somebody does want to go and fight, then maybe join. If they're in the United Kingdom, then go and join the Territorial Army. Find out which unit's got a course, the basic training course, as quick as possible. Join that unit, get your basic training done, and then come out. At least that way you'll have a vague idea. That's the only suggestion. Well, Mark points out if everyone had a motorhome, that could all come out within a jiffy. Well, that wouldn't actually be the case, because there's roadblocks. I mean, it's easy to get in. You just there's a regular train service from Pössl, and that goes to Lviv. And I think actually it might even start off at Krakow, I don't know. but so that you can get in easily. It's getting out. The trains are absolutely packed, and the trains which take the longer distance ones. For example, I think the Sky News showed today a train from Dnipro to Lviv. Dnipro, it's already packed full. They can't put any more people on the train, so the people en route can't get on the train. And when they get to Lviv, okay, there is the humanitarian organisations such as the ones that I've seen here, which are lots of volunteers trying to help people. But it doesn't really. Lviv is still in Ukraine, and they're still in sight of Putin. So what they have to do is to come further, to come normally to Poland. So anyway, on my history site, I'm trying to keep a regular, so it's called History on YouTube. I've stopped actually doing history so much. It's just kind of doing the Ukraine from my own point of view. And another thing I'd like to say as well, from my own point of view, is I know lots of people in both Russia and Ukraine. Indeed, of my Facebook friends, if you like, the fourth, most of them in the UK. Sorry, that's not most of them aren't. The highest number is the UK, followed by Poland, followed by Germany, and fourth position is Russia. And it just seems so odd. Only 2.5 weeks ago, a former girlfriend sent me a picture from Moscow of her grandchild, and another friend of mine a couple of days earlier sent me a picture of her grandchild, and so having these family type conversations, then bang, we're in this situation that I don't want to even contact anybody in Russia, because I'm just frightened of what might happen to them. Many years ago in Poland, somebody was picked up by the security police, the Polish version of the KGB, it was UB, because of me. And that was entirely my fault. It's a story for a different time. But in that case, then I felt completely guilty. And afterwards, I just don't want to do anything that could get anybody in any trouble in Russia. So I'm not going to contact anybody in Russia for that reason. And in Ukraine, I'm trying to contact people. And in some cases I can do, in others, Kharkiv under siege, but we have conversations. Right, so yeah, in a way, yeah, there is something here. The Marx just mentioned the Nazi camps. There is something here very similar actually to the Holocaust, and I'm going to mention that now. When you have a situation where you have masses of refugees, somebody has to, you imagine a situation, you have to leave your home immediately. What do? You don't take the stuff that's not worth much. The stuff you pack into your pockets is the stuff which is valuable. So if you've got any family jewels or whatever, money or whatever, then you take it. And there have now been cases where people refugees, they have been the victims of crime. These scavengers, vultures, have found them somewhere at the border, then robbed them. And so this is the reason, for example, so that people such as myself are more than happy to go to the border and take people where they want to go. Shouldn't really do it, because it's a limited amount of people I can put in my motorhome, and so it's a small amount of people. They shouldn't be getting in vehicles with strangers for this very reason. So this is why the organised things are the best. I've got to say though, there's sort of here a disagreement with the person I'm with. Unfortunately, she won't hear this. I don't know if she'll understand anyway, but she's just walking up now. On how well the Polish government's behaving on this. And I think the Polish government's done a really good job. Anybody that crosses the border gets free travel on Polish, German and Dutch railway lines. So that actually does speed people out of Poland into other places, and people are being dispersed as well. Thanks, Faye. So anyway, I do actually feel pretty useless though, that and certainly I would have considered this Foreign Legion if I'd been 20 years younger. I'm too old. I mean, I just couldn't keep up with people. I'd be a burden on them. And this is the problem, I think, if people are thinking of crossing the border and doing something on the other side, unless you can really offer something very, very positive, then don't do it, because you're just taking up, thanks Jose, you're just taking up food and resources which could be used by the locals. And anybody's thinking going over the border, then it's a one-way trip. You're not coming out by train, and you shouldn't be. You're taking the place of somebody who is less able to survive. So older people, children, whatever. So that's how I see it. I must admit, I was a bit shocked that Sky News actually got on the train and filmed things when there were people actually wanting to get on that train, who really had to, because they're frightened for their lives. On the other hand, it does actually bring it to you, so there may be an argument. I'll give you a quick look round here now, just to show you a bit more of what's going on here. So, okay, so you might be able to see too, over there we've got the people making beds, so we've got the volunteers, and they're presumably there are going to be people here sleeping tonight, so people who can't, maybe they're coming in later. At the other side of this wall, so that's where the reception area is. You see, we've got down here, there's the information point, so people would come here and then they'll be directed down. We've got, there's plenty, stacks of food there, sandwiches and other things, and sweets and donuts and all sorts of other things. I'd just like to show something here though. Can you see? Look how close these beds are together. And you imagine that. I mean, okay, you may be in the same family, that's one thing. Just think of it though. Last week, 10 days ago anyway, you had your own house, your own bed, your own everything. And now it's come to this. Despite how wonderful it is here, and what a wonderful job the Czechs are doing, and how clean it is here. But that's the state. So today I actually spoke to, I think it was the lady who was in charge here, and she told me, I mean, I could see how exhausted she was. She was, I asked if I could do an interview with her, and I think she didn't want it, because I could see how tired she was, and she was a bit frightened for that reason. So anyway, so that's my news. Obviously, I do normally do things about motorhomes and RV travel, and so I've got my own motorhome parked outside here, and so I did say to the person I'm with, I said, look, I'll take you to a hotel, because I haven't got the heating. There's no heating in it. This is what happens when you start doing something. You take something out, and then nothing goes in its place. And this was an emergency. No, I'm not a volunteer here. No, I'm a volunteer in Poland, but not in Czechia. But there was something that we had to come here to do. So it was a situation. I got the phone call, and I said, yeah, I'll leave in 10 minutes. I said, but I mean, it might be a bit difficult to get my motorhome out, because it's in it might be stuck. Yeah, I'll turn the camera around again, and there we go. So right, good. So from this, there you are, Renault exhibition grounds. So you see it down the bottom, they've actually made an area for the kids to play. Isn't that wonderful there? So they've done that as well. And it's big Czech flag, and I think that other flag is the flag of Renault, although I don't know. Well, Poland certainly is, in my opinion, doing at least some sections of the Polish community are doing a wonderful job. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, good. Right. Look, I will continue this theme on my motorhome channel, and that is which not my motorhome. I'm saying my history channel, history on YouTube, and so this is every single day I'm sticking up something about Ukraine. So please have a look there. Thanks, guys. You take care. You all take care too. So I mightn't do anything else on this chat, but I really did think that this was in a way relevant to others, and I do want to actually show this. And really what I want to show more than anything else is what what I feel for the people in Ukraine who have been put through this more than anything else. And I think of it now at my age now to be in the center of Europe, which was liberated 32 years ago, and then we have this happening. It is great to see how united people are. Okay, well, it is quite bright. Yeah, actually, Mark, it seems brighter possibly than it really. If I take my glasses off, oh, the dazzle. If I take my glasses off, oh, that doesn't remind me of another thing. I take wearing my glasses. Now, I don't like wearing my glasses. Thanks, Paula. But now, today in Fiona Hill, who was she was, what was her job? Fiona Hill in the United States government. She was a special envoy. I've forgotten the title now. Anyway, never mind. She gave evidence at in the Senate hearings on Trump. Anyway, never mind. Fiona Hill. She's got an accent like I have, right? Although she's from the United States. History channel is called History on YouTube. History on YouTube. There's a link to it under the channels on this page. Anyway, Fiona Hill was next to Putin at a meal, and she noticed that Putin, and not only did he not eat anything or drink anything, he wouldn't touch anything, obviously he was scared of the food, or maybe he just had a quick pizza before he went, who knows. But also, he had his notes, he wrote in very big letters. And what does that show? It shows that he's short-sighted. Hitler was also short-sighted. There are either maybe 5 photographs of Hitler, probably 3, but maybe 5 of Hitler, and Hitler would never appear with his glasses. He had a special typewriter, so things reported to him for his use. Now, what he did when he was looking at maps, I've got no idea, because if he couldn't see them. But he wouldn't appear because he thought that it would look weak to be seen in glasses. Now, Putin, who, as we've all seen, he's he rides horses without his shirt on. He plays hockey and scores goal after goal after goal. He's in the gym pulling weights. He's going into the Black Sea and finding an amphora and pulling it out. Sort of man of action. He can't be seen wearing glasses. He is that vain as to his outward appearance. Now maybe that's what his audience expects. But with that in mind, you've got in a situation is, how is this ever going to end? Because he hasn't got a way out at all. And the thing is this is a huge trade fair, but can it all be full of dormitories for people leaving Ukraine? UN is forecasting 4 million leaving of a population of 44, so it's 1 person in 10. And okay, I've no doubt that they can be absorbed by Western Europe. It's a shortage of labour at the moment. Anyway, that's not the point. It's the long-term effects of Ukraine, because the people who leave will be the most productive ones. And anyway, I'm putting off the point. Thanks for watching and allowing me to share this with you. All the best from Renault. Yeah, no, people aren't being kept at the borders. I must point this out. The people are being moved on quite quickly. It's not like these big refugee camps, for example. You may have seen, if you saw the film, I've forgotten the name of it now, in French it's called La Déchirure, about Cambodia, and it showed these big refugee camps in in Thailand. That's not that way at all. There's no refugee camps. The people are moved on. Thanks, Eds. Thanks, Faith. Thanks, Mrs. Rambo. All the best. I can't remember how to turn this off now. Oh yeah, I remember. Thanks, Phil. All the best.